Letter to a Child Never Born, written by Oriana Fallaci. Letter to a Child Never Born is a powerful novel about a woman expecting a child, believing that motherhood is a personal and responsible choice, not a duty. Oriana Fallaci shares with the reader the conflict of emotions and desires at the core of every woman's existence. Honesty that scales while it illuminates. No one will read it unmoved. Cosmopolitan. Fallaci strips truth down to its snake bone. New York Times. With her customary brilliance, Fallaci has probed into the psyche, the conscience, and the heart of women to reveal the anguishing doubts, problems, and hopes of maternity. Draws the reader like magic. New Yorker. The articulated question truly belongs to all of us, men and women alike. Los Angeles Times. To those who do not fear doubt, to those who wonder why, without growing tired at the cost of suffering and dying, to those who pose themselves the dilemma of giving life or denying it. This book is dedicated by a woman for all women. Last night I knew you existed. A drop of life escaped from nothingness. I was lying, my eyes wide open in the darkness, and all at once I was certain you were there, you existed. It was as if a bullet had struck me. My heart stopped, and when it began to pound again in gunburst of wonder, I had the feeling I had been flung into the well so deep that everything was unsure and terrifying. Now I am locked in fear that soaks my face, my hair, my thoughts. I am lost in it. It is not fear of others. I don't care about others. It's not fear of God. I don't believe in God. It's not fear of pain. I have no fear of pain. It is fear of you, of the circumstance that has wrenched you out of nothingness to attach yourself to my body. I was never eager to welcome you, even though I have known for some time that you might exist someday. In that sense, I have long awaited you, but still, I always asked myself the terrible question, what if you don't want to be born? What if someday you were cry out to reproach me? Who asked you to bring me into the world? Why did you bring me into it? Why? Life is such an effort, child. It's a war that is renewed each day, and its moments of joy are brief parentheses for which you pay a cruel price. How can I know that you wouldn't be better to throw you away? How can I tell that you wouldn't rather be returned to the silence? You cannot speak to me. Your drop of life is only a cluster of cells that has scarcely begun. Perhaps it's not even life, only mere possibility of life. I wish that you could help me with even a nod, a slight sign. My mother claims that I gave her such a sign, and that was the reason she brought me into the world. You see, my mother didn't want me. I was begun in a moment of other people's carelessness and hoping I wouldn't be born. She dissolved some medicine in a glass of water each night, and then weeping, she drank it. She drank it faithfully until the night I moved inside her belly and gave her a kick to tell her not to throw me away. She was lifting the glass to her lips when I signaled. She turned it upside down immediately and spilled the fluid out. Some months later, I was lolling victoriously in the sun. Whether that was good or bad, I don't know. When I'm happy, I think it was good. When I'm unhappy, I think it was bad. But even when I'm miserable, I think I would have regretted not being born, since nothing is worse than nothingness. Let me say again, I'm not afraid of pain. We are born with pain. It grows with us, and we get used to it just as to the fact we have two arms and legs. Actually, I'm not even afraid of dying. Dying means you at least were born. You escaped from nothingness. What I am truly afraid of is nothingness, not being, never having existed, even by chance, by mistake, by carelessness of others. A lot of women ask themselves why they should bring a child into the world so that it will be hungry, so that it will be cold, so that it will be betrayed and humiliated, so that it will be slaughtered by war or disease. They reject the hope that its hunger will be satisfied, its cold warmed, that loyalty and respect will accompany it through life, that it will devote a life to the effort to eliminate war and disease. Maybe they're right, but is nothingness preferable to suffering? Even when I weep over my failures, my delusions, my torments, I'm sure that suffering is preferable to nothingness. And if I extend this to life, to the dilemma of being born or not, every nerve in my body cries out that it is better to be born than not to be. But can I impose such reasoning on you? Doesn't that mean that I am bringing you into the world for myself alone and no one else? I'm not interested in bringing you into the world only for myself and no one else. I don't need you at all.